Well, look, it's an honor to be with all of you today, and I know it's been a pretty painful week, you know, with the losses we've had, you know. A good friend, S.C. Hastings, which I knew a long, long time, and to lose him is losing a piece of the, I don't know what, just losing a piece of something. And also, you know, Dante Wright in Minnesota, that god-awful shooting and resulting in his death, and in the midst of an ongoing trial over the killing of George Floyd, and Lord only knows what's happened based on what the verdict will or will not be there. And but we're in the business, all of us meeting today, to deliver some real change. When we took office, I haven't talked with Jim at length about this. Every single aspect of, I signed an executive order, every single aspect of our government, including every agency, has as a primary focus dealing with equity. And not a joke. From the beginning, we talked at length about it, Jim. And not only, but we also have an awful lot of things we have to deal with, not when it only comes to police, when it comes to advancing equality, economic opportunity. Cedric always says the thing that he would drive him crazy is that everybody would want to talk about equity in the black community, talk about prisons. Well, that's part of it, man, but that's not, it's about income. It's about being able to earn a living. It's about being able to be in a position where you have economic opportunity. And so I look forward to discussing all these priorities, the CBC priorities, and the goals you have for the community, but quite frankly, for the goals you have in the community are good for every community, And I'd like to spend some time on the American Jobs Act, which I think some of you actually helped me put that together with the ideas you gave me early on. And I think we can make significant changes. In the last little bit of legislation you helped me pass, we reduced child poverty, and we reduced poverty in black communities significantly just by that act alone. One of my objectives there, overall objective, is to make those changes permanent. You've been leading that one for a long time, pal. And so, anyway, we got a lot to talk about, and I'm looking forward to having this meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus, and I think we're going to get a lot done. So, thank you all for coming.
What is the actual hope that people should have that there'll be a change in the way that African Americans interact with police in this country during the Biden era? What can you deliver on, sir?
A lot, and I'll tell you later. Let's go.
Any response to the Johnson & Johnson?
The message to the American people on the vaccine is, I told you all, I made sure we have 600 million doses of the not of either Johnson & Johnson and or AstraZeneca. So there's enough vaccine that is basically 100% unquestionable for every single solitary American. Thank you.